Welcome to lesson number 2 in the ICBCH Gold Hypnosis Certification Program. Now, I hope in that first section I answered some of the questions about hypnosis, and I want to recognize that anytime somebody begins to learn about hypnosis and begins to listen to whether it's a lecture or a course or even read a book about hypnosis, immediately a whole bunch of questions come to mind. The good news is that in this course, as I go through the materials, the questions that you have right now will probably be answered in time. And of course, if at any time you have any questions that haven't been answered in this course, feel free to email me or to call our office or to post on our internet forum at www.icbchgroup.com. I'm always happy to answer any questions. One of the other great things about hypnosis is that our learning and our understanding has changed dramatically over time. In the early 1900s, hypnosis was really seen as something that an authoritative hypnotist does to somebody, whether that was in medical settings or whether that was in public demonstrations of things like stage hypnosis. This is where the book in the 1800s, Svengali, came about. And Svengali was the evil hypnotist who controlled his subject, whose name was Trilby in the book. And Trilby could only sing and make money when she was under the spell of Svengali. And this was really what our understanding and our conceptualization of hypnosis was 100 years ago. Now we really see and we conceptualize hypnosis as something that we teach to somebody to help them understand how they can use the power that's within themselves to create success in life. This was really ultimately the idea of Carl Rogers, although Carl Rogers wasn't known as a hypnotist, a client-centered approach that our client has within them the resources that they need for success. This was Milton Erickson's idea in Ericksonian hypnosis as well. And it's really my idea and the idea of this course that we're trying to tap into the resources that a person possesses so that they can use the strengths and the resources within them to really overcome anything. And so in this video, what I'm going to do is help you experience a hypnotic resource state. I'm going to guide you through a basic strategy or a basic process in hypnosis. I think sometimes the best way to understand what hypnosis is to simply experience it for yourself. Now, I do think that each one of us, prior to this video, have all experienced trance before. In fact, we do each and every day, all day long, various levels of brainwave activity and various trance states and experiences. But as you listen to my words and as you follow the process here in this video number 2, you'll be able to really observe yourself experiencing a directed guidance into the resource state that we call hypnosis. And so as you watch this video, whether you're sitting at a computer or whether you've cast this to a big screen, take in a breath. Just breathe in and breathe out and pay attention to the breath. Bring all of your attention to that breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Really notice what it feels like to breathe. And it's okay to adjust for comfort, by the way, to become more comfortable in the chair where you are. As you breathe in and breathe out, notice what it's like to breathe the air in the nostrils and follow the air as it travels into the lungs. And if your eyes aren't closed yet, go ahead and close the eyes down. And you'll notice there's a point in our breath where the air that's breathed in turns around in the lungs, almost like a swimmer in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and becomes an exhale, and follow that breath out. And as you pay attention to that breath, you can relax the muscles of the body, the muscles of the brow, the muscles of the jaw, unclench the jaw. You can even relax the muscles of the shoulders, drop the shoulders a bit. You can lean back into the chair if you want to. If your legs or hands are crossed, simply uncross those hands and let them relax on the armrest of the chair as you breathe in and breathe out, and really pay attention to the chair that you're sitting in. Now you've set aside this time for learning, this time to view these videos. And so this is your special time. You can set aside mentally any stressors of yesterday or things that have stood in your way of learning hypnosis. And you can set aside any fears about whether or not you'll truly be able to master these ideas and simply be present in that chair, breathing in and breathing out. Feels pretty good, doesn't it, to be fully present? Now, at no time during this process will you ever be asleep, simply deeply relaxed. And as you listen to my voice, paying attention to the words or experiencing the process that we call hypnosis, anywhere you notice that you're carrying tension of the day in the body, relax those places. And as you let relaxation extend through the neck and shoulders, the back, the belly, your upper arms, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands. Just let those hands relax on that armrest of the chair. Noting that when they relax fully, they feel very heavy. In fact, you can even think of the word heavy. As you think of the word heavy and pay attention to those hands, say to yourself, my hands are heavy. My hands are heavy. My hands are heavy. And notice a sense of heaviness in those hands. As you relax the muscles of the body, as you relax the hands on the armrest of the chair, think of the word warmth. Warmth like that which might come from the sun, or warmth like that which might come from inside of the body. And as you pay attention to those heavy hands, say to yourself, my hands are warm. My hands are warm. My hands are warm. And allow yourself to notice a sensation of warmth in those heavy hands resting on the armrest of the chair. And you're doing great. Never asleep, just deeply relaxed. Enjoying learning something new as you relax the back and buttocks and thighs. And let that relaxation extend into the calves and shins, and even into the feet. And as you notice your feet inside of your shoes, you can even wiggle the toes a little bit, noticing that when they rest from wiggling just a little bit, they become very, very relaxed. And you can even notice the sense of relaxation in the little tiny muscles of the feet and toes. Now, just as you thought of the word heavy and thought of the word warm moments ago in relation to the hands, focus on your feet and say to yourself, my feet are warm and heavy. My feet are warm and heavy. And let your feet be both warm and heavy. Let them relax as they rest on the floor, as your arms relax as they rest on the chair. Now, of course, with the conscious mind, you know that you could move. If you wanted to, you could open the eyes, you could get up. But it feels so wonderful to simply take a minute to relax, to direct all of your attention to a new learning experience that you'll continue to choose to just be present in this moment and earn CEUs with the eyes closed and learn something new that can help not only you but the clients who you work with experience success. And so with each number and each breath, allow yourself to relax even further. Double that sensation or experience of relaxation. 10, 9, 8. Each number, each breath, relaxing a little bit further. Never asleep, but deeply relaxed. 6, 5, 4, 3. You're doing perfect, absolutely perfect. All the way down now. 3, 2, 1, 0. And this is a resource state. A resource state, not that I've done to you, but that you've created from within yourself by following this process. And this is the resource state that we often associate with hypnosis. Never asleep, but deeply relaxed. Accessing that part of the mind that creates awareness, accessing that part of the mind that creates creativity, accessing that part of the mind that is infinitely wise. And you'll notice by taking a moment in this deep state of relaxation that you've created right here and right now, that the resources within you already exist for developing the confidence to hypnotize other people, and to internalize the experience that you've created right here and right now, and to recognize the value of directing trances. In fact, you can even congratulate yourself. You can even smile a little bit. You can virtually pat yourself on the back. Because by going through this simple process, which will develop further later, you've begun to understand the power and the value of hypnosis as a tool for transformation. And so take another minute to really study this state just as you were studying your breath, to notice any physical differences, emotional differences, to enjoy the experience that you've created in this short exercise. And now, because it is time to return our attention back to the videos, to rise above to a more active level of brainwave activity, take in a breath. And as you deliberately take in that breath, follow that breath as the oxygen reaches the lungs and travels to every cell of the body. And notice it brings a sense of energy. And as you smile and as you recognize the value of this very short session, take in another breath, being ready in a minute to open the eyes if the eyes aren't opened already yet. And when I count to 3, open the eyes, feeling fantastic and ready for the rest of the day. 1, having enjoyed this experience and recognizing the value of trance utilization. 2, begin to stretch out any muscles that need to be stretched. Take in a breath, filling the lungs with oxygen, letting oxygen reach every cell of the body. And 3, open the eyes, feeling fantastic, having learned from this short hypnotic experience. If your eyes aren't open yet, go ahead and open the eyes. Now, that was a very short and a very basic experience or process of directed clinical hypnosis. I went through some of the core or basic strategies, not in detail and not in depth, as we're going to do in the rest of these videos. But I wanted you to have an experience of being able to create and access that resource state. I didn't change the thermostat in your house, but yet you were able to feel, at one level or another, a sensation of warmth. I didn't place a weight on your hands, but you were able to create a feeling of heaviness. I didn't come along and push out any stressors that you have in life, and yet you were able to fully, mindfully be aware of the present moment during that process. Essentially blocking out everything from the world around you and really focusing on what you were creating and what your experience was. And so you can congratulate yourself because you've done extremely well so far in lesson number 2 in our series on clinical hypnosis.